Hello, darlings. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be back with you. I have missed you like absolute crazy. I really have. And we've got so much to catch up on. So, what's been happening with you since, gosh, Thursday night? How was your weekend? Did you go to POL? Have you got any exciting news to report? Just throw it all at me. I want it all. I will absorb it like a weird human-shaped sponge. That's what I'll do. Oh, hello. Oh well, let's fire straight in with that, shall we? Trace the Greenwood, one of our community channels. Do check it out. And congratulations, Trace, on getting your 50th subscriber. Well on the way there. The first 100 or so are probably the hardest. So you're halfway to kind of getting over the hump. Anyway, the point is that Trace has been a channel member, one of my favourite people. I love my channel members. I'm so grateful to them for their support, and to all of the rest of you who support me in any way, shape or form. Joining me on live streams, watching my videos and leaving the bloody knob alone when the adverts come on. You're all fantastic, and Trace has been a channel member for 3 months. My goodness gracious me. So yeah, thank you. Now let's see which of our friends we've got with us. Matt, known and loved as _ Matt's in the house. Jimmy Quinn, the lovely Jimmy. Simone is with us and says, "Pottering buttocks, it's Boaty." It certainly is, Simone. How are you doing, my lovely? Did you have a good weekend? I know that you were at POL. A number of little birds have told me that. General Cheeseburger is in our midst. Wonderful. Hello, Rob's here. Beards and Bangers, another one of our community channels. And Mr. B&B is also celebrating something of a subscriber milestone this weekend. So congratulations to Beards and Bangers, who has hit the massive milestone of 1,000 subscribers. A massive number, very well done. I knew it would come sooner rather than later because your content is nothing short of fabulous. And I hope that you've got the 4,000 watch hours that you need already in your back pocket, so that you can click the button and become a YouTube partner. So that's what's happening, Beards and Bangers. You're celebrating, mate. And you were also at Pride of Longbridge, and I hope you had a fantastic time. Hope your car got back okay. Did I see something about you getting your bloody 260 stuck in some bog of a field in darkest Birmingham? Oh, maybe I imagine that. Mickey Jeffries is amongst us and says, "It lives." _ asks, "How's Boaty?" And I'm pretty wonderful, Matt, to be honest with you. Lots of exciting things going on. I'm feeling very positive and very excited. There is one little dang thing which I might just mention, but I might not. I might prefer to keep the party atmosphere going. And later on in the proceedings, not too much later on, because I'm feeling the need. Oh, this is quite pleasant. Look at what I've got going here. Yeah, shortly I will be unleashing the most expensive bottle of wine that has got anywhere near my gullet for a long time. Yeah, tonight is going to be a shabbly night because, quite frankly, you are amazing, sophisticated, incredibly special people, and you deserve nothing less than to watch me doing something better than the normal cheap plonk I throw down my little red lane while I witter at you. Bad Books is amongst us. Good evening all. Black Lines is also here and offers mellow greetings. Cheeseburger drove past Pride of Longbridge at 1500 hours on Saturday. There were more coming out than going in, so I didn't stop. I loved Mustard's video. I haven't had a chance to watch it all yet. I kind of flicked through it quite quickly, but that was on Sunday morning, and I was getting ready to go to the pub. More on that later. Carl Davis has joined us, which is lovely. Good evening, Carl. Oh, blimey. Simone is also another one of our community channels, Hooked on Classics. Now, if you haven't subscribed, why not? What are you thinking of? And is it me? Is it me? Or does this sweater kind of blend in with the wall behind me, so it looks as if there's just like a head just floating around and talking at you? Yeah. Note to self, don't wear cream sweater when doing live stream. Yeah, Simone hit 1500 yesterday. Very surprised. Oh, and you subbed to the Greenwood. Thank you, Simone. Well, congratulations. 1,500 subscribers. That is absolutely fabulous and bloody well deserved. And given your incredibly high profile at the moment around, all I can see is just my head floating. I might go and put my dressing gown on. We need some definition here, darlings. We need definition. That's what we need. Yeah, with your high profile, Simone, that number's only going to rocket. I'm absolutely sure of it. In fact, the same pretty much goes for all of the community channels. You're all banging out some wonderful stuff. And I'm sure that the future is bright for all of you. All the adverts, says Matt, are adult dating sites. Are you sure we're all leaving the knob untouched? Yeah, well, that's got more to do with your browsing habits than anything else. Oh, interesting. Blackline says, hello, beards and bangers. How many cylinders did you drive home on in the end? Is there a story? Is there a story to tell us there, Rob? I've been really busy. We had the meet on Sunday, obviously working last night, and as usual, I've been at the Art of Dreams all day today. Lots to tell you about there, and lots that I won't be able to tell you, but I might hint at. Exciting times ahead, tell you that. What? I should rub it up. So I haven't really watched anybody's videos. I apologise for that. I will, of course, watch them, and I will, of course, catch up. Oh, a little shy on the watch hours. That won't last long, Mr. B&B. You'll soon hit that. I mean, your videos are getting really good views now, and you're back to walloping the content out after you were poorly. You can't be far off. That'll come very soon, I'm sure. Oh, and it was true. The arse of beards and bangers ZT260 sank in a bog. Don't call Birmingham dark, admonishes General Cheeseburger. Some of us have to live here. Well, no, you don't. You don't have to. You choose to, presumably, as indeed once did I. I once chose to live there, and then I chose not to. And presumably, unless you've got some form of advanced ASBO or community service, presumably you are still there out of choice. Oh, Simone says, Rob, I will set your channel to play all to help out with the hours that you need. Oh, brilliant. What a really good idea. Let's all watch plenty of Rob and get his watch hours up so that he can, well, I was going to say get a few quid in, but when you first get monetized and for quite a long time thereafter, the revenue is so derisory that even to somebody as poor as me, it makes little in the way of difference. But to somebody who buys as many cars as Rob does, I mean, it's literally going to be a drop in the ocean. But that's not the point. That's not the point, is it? There are other benefits that come when you become a YouTube partner, and let's get in there as quickly as possible. Oh, and Rob says, it felt like 8 once I had refueled, so I'm suspecting fuel pump, trim, pressure, etc. Oh right, you were dropping a pot, were you, Rob? Car's been off the road for a while and bound to need some fettling. Bad Book says, hi Simone, great to meet you at POL and congrats on the 1.5k subscribers. Don't choke on your Chablis, says Cheeseburger. I'm not going to waste a drop of that nectar, let me assure you. And in fact, as soon as I wallop through these comments, I'm going to unleash the Chablis, so I am. You look like a 1980s Kenny Everett video. He was drunk last time he wore the sweater, says Matt. Well, you know, narrow it down. I've probably been drunk since I wore this sweater, because that's when I asked him about blending into the background the last time he wore it. Trace says, take it off, Boaty, and do the stream topless. Bad Book says, Boaty, you look like Holly and Red Dwarf in that sweater. Oh, Liz is here. Sorry I'm late. Hello, Boaty et al. With her traditional bit of Latin there. Oh, right, okay. I would watch more community stuff, says Matt, but unfortunately, I really don't want to. And you can't make me. And that's a very valid point, Matt. Yeah. Right, Cheeseburger clarifies. If I want to stay married, I have to live in Birmingham. Now there's a thought. Don't think that too much. I can't cope with my floating head. I'm actually going to get changed. Talk amongst yourselves. What was that advert? Quick change, quiet chat. It was all like couplets that began with QC. So the advert must have been for something that had the initials QC. And I can't remember what it was. Can't be Queen's Counsel anymore because she's dead and we've got a king. I was very naughty at the end of POL, says Simone. I was absolutely desperate for a wee, and I squatted down beside Project Nigel. Oh, right, okay. And then did a reverse J-turn at speed in the Rover 75. Lots of fun, but I think I made a muddy mess. What, with your wee or with your J-turn? Or possibly with both. New candle, says Bad Books. Yes and no. My candles were still buggered and not candling, and these are some candles that I took outside last year for one of my outside tables, and they've been on it upside down all winter, and I hadn't got any candles and I wanted some, so I've kind of washed them a bit, brought them in and set fire to them. I'm going to rejig the table. I'm paranoid now and I'm fed up of you all complaining. So I'm going to go for a more laid bare rustic look. So I'm going to lose, that can stay. I'm going to lose those. I'm going to throw this wine away. It's been there for 17 years. What am I going to do with these bottles of water? Best before, hang on, let's have a look. Christ, how are you supposed to read that? It's tiny. Oh, right. Best before the end of June 2019. So, yeah, these are, no wonder they're bloody dusty. These have been here a little longer than I thought. Now, these would actually be really nice emergency bottles of water to go in Boo. Shoving a bottle in Boo. But, you know, in those widey little door holdy bottley bits in the doors, they'd be really good for that. But I don't know if you can actually drink it. Can you drink water that is 3 years out of date? I mean, it's water. What's going to happen to it? Why has water even got a sell-by date on it? It's bloody stupid. You get an advert. You get an advert for some stupidly expensive bottle of mineral water, and it'll say, this water has been flowing for 17,000 years through the rocks of Mount Etna, or whatever the hell it's supposed to be. I mean, it's bollocks. It's come from a tap at the back of the factory. But they'll say it's been flowing for 17,000 years, and then it'll say, drink within 7 days. So it's been in a rock for 17,000 years, but you've got to drink it within a week of it going in your fridge. Absolute heady bollocks. I might drink that and see if I die. I won't do it tonight, though. I'll stick to the Chablis. Oh, what was I doing? I was doing table stuff, wasn't I? Yeah, and I'm going to get rid of this dust trap here. Fed up of it. Ooh, look at that. I'll polish the table later. Oh dear. Oh, I better hoover as well. Don't panic, I'll do it in the morning. And that can go there. Oh, let's give that a wash. Yeah, have a flower. Don't say I never give you anything. That can go there. These can go down here, nestling under the doings. Should probably dust those, shouldn't I? And those can go there like that. There you go. That looks cleaner, doesn't it? Yeah. I think I prefer that. What do you think? You'll all still nag me for something or other. Let's turn this round so it's pointed at you. Stay. Okay, let's move that. Oh, and now I've left water on the table. Garden news. Tell me about your gardens, by all means. My garden news is that spring has finally truly come, because on Friday, my gardeners came and started the first work of spring. So my garden's looking rather fabulous now. And I will take you around it this week in a video or something. Now then, he looks like something from CNA in that jumper. What? Sorry, I'm being pinged. Right, I'll read that later. Oh, QC Sherry, is that what it was? Right. I can't drink white wine now, says Carl. At some point in the 1990s, I had 3 bottles of Suave, oh Jesus, and perused to smoke and inhale cigars like a knockoff Hannibal Smith. Well, 3 bottles of Suave would be enough to put any bugger off. There were muddy messes at POL, says Beard and Bangers. Never. Right, Matt didn't go to PSL because his head gasket is still broke. Oh, hang on, there might be an update here. I can't get the head gasket fixed until next Tuesday, so I might as well. Right. So is it actually booked in, Matt? After however long it is, are you finally getting the bloody thing done? Right. That water is fresher than what comes out of your tap. Is it? What? Even though it's 3 years out of date? I mean, it's priory. This is good water. Look, it's in a glass bottle and everything. I remember where this came from now. God almighty, no wonder it's out of date. This came from a health club in Leicester that Boo worked at. health club and gym thing. And it came from there. So that would have been before we moved in together in Matlock, Bath. Christ, it's probably 6 years ago. And apparently it's from the Shropshire Hills. I'm not going to risk it, not immediately. Instantly much better without the table stuff, says Trace. The camera can see you better and the lighting is brighter because it's not focusing on the rabid tits. Sorry, the table bits. Oh, right, okay. That table looks filthy, says Cheeseburger. I'll polish it tomorrow. That thing was a dust trap. And now, in my mind, I moved that and polished the table last week, which probably means that it was 2018, because time kind of flies when you're a busy drunk. If something is in a plastic bottle, says Trace, the plastic degrades and affects the quality and flavour of the water. Yeah, but it's glass. It's glass, Trace. Oh, a hidden message from Beards and Bangers. We don't often get filth from Beards and Bangers, but we got some there. Are the pepper dildos going? They could do. They could do. Shall I get rid and go for a totally minimalist look? I was thinking of that I should have some, because I don't use these. They're crap. They were only there for decorative purposes. As soon as I bought them, I realised they were absolute rubbish. And over in the engine room department of the kitchen, I just have, you know, these supermarket ones that you just use and throw away. But these are on display near my balsamics, and they're not really display pieces, are they? So maybe I should get rid of these crap ones that don't work and get some smaller, nicer ones, like that sort of size, and they would look nice next to my balsamics and underneath keys 1A and 1B on my insanely complicated key hanging up racky naily hooky system thing. Boil the water if you want. Bacteria can grow in it over time, but not within 7 days. Yeah, well, it's been in there it's been in there about 6 years, Simone, and it's now 3 years out of date. I think I might just throw it away, you know. I mean, I've got a jug thing now. I've got a jug thing. Chinese madam, who, as I've told you before, was always getting things and getting things cheaply. Now, she got this jug, never been used, with a load of filters for it. And I always wanted a jug for the fridge because my grandmother always had one, so it reminds me of my childhood. Now, hers didn't have a filter, but it was something to do with the, I don't know why she did it. It's because they had soft water or hard water or some sort of water, and she thought that it was better if it had been left in the, I don't know why, she was as mad as a box of bloody frogs. But anyway, the point is that Chinese madam got that jug and filters, and I said that I would like us to have it here and we should use it. And she agreed because she said that she would like to use it. And very kindly, because she lived here rent-free and didn't pay any bills and didn't pay towards the cars or, well, didn't pay for bloody anything, she very kindly let me have it for cost price, what it cost her. Didn't put any profit on it at all. She, heart of gold, that woman, an absolute heart of gold. I need to change the filter on it, and I actually need to wash it out as well. That's a job I've been meaning to do for a year. I used to be a waste treatment engineer, says Simone. Oh gosh, get you. Jimmy Quinn says, get rid of the candles and the flower. I don't want to get rid of the candles, Jimmy Quinn. I like the candles. I think the candles give a nice bit of ambience. I like a nice bit of ambience. I'll go with you on the flower though. That can go back where it was. I normally like to have red roses on the dining table, but haven't been able to afford flowers for a while. Let me just get that central there. There you go. Will you settle for that, Jimmy? Can we agree on that as a compromise? I can't get rid of these bits because they're part of my Denby set and I've got nowhere else to put them. And they belong on the dining table, don't they? But I've just put them in, you know, they're a bit more tucked away there now, aren't they? Oh, God, this is hard work, this is. Now move the vase and candles out of the way. Ping, sorry, yeah. It's all very well apologising for the ping, Matt, but I'm not going to read it until about an hour and a half after the ping has ponged. Now move the vase and candles out of the way. I don't want to move the candles. They should. I've moved the vase. Surely the candles should be in the middle of the table, which is... Yeah, the candles are in the right place. Although I suppose for... Oh, okay. Is that better if I put them over there? Christ almighty. You invite your friends round to your house and all they do is bloody criticise. Alright, okay, I'll concede for live stream purposes they might be better placed a bit skew with. Might be better without them at all, actually. Jimmy Quinn might have been right. Maybe they're not a live stream thing. Maybe they're a me when I'm just here on my own or with company. Yeah, maybe. Do they give an annoying... I know. Let's get through the comments. For Christ's sake, I want some wine. Oh, God, the candles are too far forward. Bloody hell. Simone says, I still haven't planted my plum tree yet. Right. Oh, yeah, we talked about that, didn't we? You dug a hole for it, and it was in a bucket from the garden set. Well, you've dug the hole, put it in there. Stephen S. Paul has joined us and says, hello all. Hello to you, Stephen S. Paul, across the heading pond. Oh, right, yes. Oh, hang on. The candles are in the fucking way, says Jimmy Quinn. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Right, I tell you what. Let's move them right out of the way. We'll put them right over there. Right, is everybody happy now? There, right. Excellent. Now, let's crack on. I really want some wine. Hello, Matt, says Liz. I'm okay, thanks. It was nice meeting you briefly yesterday. Yeah, a couple of us met up yesterday and it was very, very nice. Oh, God, the candle nearest the camera is dead. I've moved them. It's like staring into the sun. Yeah. Right, okay. Odally, yeah, quite possibly, Rob. Liz says to Matt says, I had a ridiculous journey home trying to find firewood. I would have come back for a drink, but the traffic in Chesterfield was nuts. And Liz says, you missed a wonderful afternoon of company. Absolutely true. And dubious food. What's the food dubious? I mean, Steve polished his off like he hadn't eaten for about 16 years. And you didn't do badly with yours, Bliss. And mine was okay. I wouldn't describe it as dubious. Oh, dear. Please put the candles where the dildos were. Oh, Christ above. Right. Are we all happy about the candles now? Oh, Bad Book says, met a Boaty fan at Pride of Longbridge. You met her in Sainsbury's car park. Streetwise owner. Oh, that'll be the girls. That'll be the ladies. The Smalley ladies. They're not just Streetwise owners, Bad Books. They have got more MG Rovers between them than we have got all put together. They've got about 20 out on the road and 20 in a unit, and they've got all sorts. They've got MG Maestro turbos, 2 of those. You name it, they've got it. But, oh, that's lovely. Did they mention me? That's very sweet. They're in the Facebook group. I can't remember their names. but Matt knows them as well. Oh, right. Matt's car is finally booked in for 9 a.m. next Tuesday. Is that like tomorrow or a week tomorrow? 385 quid for the head gasket, waiting for a quote on the injectors. Probably should get the clutch done, but I'll just see how close to the quote I am. Right, okay. Oh, God, put the candles where the empty glass now is. I hope he shuts the curtain. Oh, God. Candles dazzling for those. Oh, God, above. Oh, no, bloody Rob's gonna. Actually, the candle nearest the. Oh, Jesus Christ. The candles are a fire hazard. Keep a bottle of water handy. Right, okay. Right, I've caught up with the comments. Hannah is one of the girls from Smalley. I think it's Hannah Marshall, if memory serves correctly. And yes, a week tomorrow. Yeah, right, yes. Right, so we've established who the ladies are. We've moved everything off the table so that it's to your exact requirements. The worktop is almost certainly going to catch on fire. I sat in an SD1 Vitessa Pride of Longbridge for the first time since I was a child, says Simone. Fabulous interior and very comfy too. God, yeah. I had an SD1 Vitesse and what a fabulous car. I set a record, just a record of my own, in driving to Wales in the middle of the night on a Saturday night. Oh God, yeah, I'd forgotten about that. It was a kind of midnight tryst to meet a girl. To pick a girl up from Gleneath at like midnight or something, and take her to the beach. And I used to do that sort of thing. And I always used to time my run, and I can't remember the times, but I know that I did it quicker in an SD1 Vitesse than I've done it in anything else. They did mention you. Hubby has Mustangs. I fussed a Staffy Bull Terrier and got chatting. That's nice. It's a small world, isn't it? Right, now, that means that I can have a glass of wine and we can get chatting properly. Now, tonight is going to be a real treat. Oh, bollocks, I forgot to chill the glass. Oh, shit, never mind. It'll just have to be unchilled. This is what we are drinking tonight, my lovelies. And by we, I do, of course, mean me. Check that out. Ha-ha! Now then, it's been a while since I've had a drop of this. Oh, a new Project Nigel video is up, says Simone. Well, you can watch it afterwards. You know you're not allowed to leave once you're in here. I've locked the doors. I'll be quite excited to see that if it's today's footage. And I'd like to know what's in it, because I want to know what I can mention and what I can't. Oh, where's that gone now? Have you moved it? What have you done with my corkscrew? I wish you'd stop moving things. There is a car update, my lovelies. That's not too shabby, is it? It was a Boaty Beauty Run Rob. Absolutely it was. Now then, I do have some car news as well. Brian Johnston. He has a bottle of wine with a cork in it. Snob. Yeah. This was a gift from the lovely Nick. So, he's the snob, not me. Oh, hello. It's type 1. As the bishop said to the actress, Fucking hell. Dear me. Almost did myself a mischief there, my loves. Oh, car news, yeah. Brian Johnston is no longer for sale. There are plans afoot for that car. Something very, very, very exciting is going to happen. And I am the most excited I can remember being. My little tinkle has not gone unclutched today. Let me say that at the very least. Properly excited. In fact, I'm more excited than a very, very excited thing. Now then. No, not a City Rover, Simone. It's not a new car. Well, I don't know how much I can say. I don't know if this is secret or not, but something is going to happen to... no, I can't. Brian Johnston is no longer for sale. And just keep your eyes open on forthcoming videos. Not this week, nothing's happening this week, but next Monday I'm going to try, note the word try, I'm going to try and drive Brian Johnston to the Yard of Dreams, where the BCU repair will go ahead and other things will happen. Can't say too much, said enough already. Right, let's try this, shall we? I'm getting a sense of Scunthorpe Baths. Yeah, very public swimming pool. Oh, bottoms up, you're very good health, by the way. Sorry. Oh, that's nice. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, my God. That's the stuff. Oh, dear me. Oh, that is very nice indeed. Oh. Fabulous. Cheers, my darlings. Happy day. Look at me drinking Chablis like the tops. Oh, that's very nice. Isn't it odd? It's almost counterintuitive that a chilled drink can be so warming. Boaty's being a prick tease. No, I'm not making Brian into a trailer. No, he's not going to be streetwised up. Sitting over does not come... Oh, hello. Trace says Brian and Nigel will be welded together and become a limo named Bridal. I'll tell you what, Trace. You're closer than you think. You are closer than you think there. When you find out what's happening, remember that you said that. Because you're not actually a million miles away, believe it or not. Scunthorpe Bass says cheeseburger incredulously. Boaty put the bad word in them. Bloody cheek cheeseburger, you can make one good one out of them. Brian Johnston's lovely. What's the matter with you? Oh, intriguing, says Trace. They're welding Brian into a burger van. Nope. I wish I could just tell you, but I don't know if I'm allowed. And I wish Mustard was here, because he could tell me. I don't want to spoil the surprise. And I don't know what's on Mustard's video tonight, because there might be some clues in that. Oh, you'll just have to wait, and I'll just have to contain my excitement somehow. But what else have I got to tell you? I am going to break my car show stroke car meet virginity, and a week on Sunday I am going to the Furious driving meet at the Motorist somewhere up north. The video's about Eric, Simone. In that case, right, okay. Okay. Watch the video about Eric, and then over the next week, see if you can guess what we might be doing. And that's all that I'm saying. Yeah, don't spoil the surprise, we can anticipate more. Okay, we won't say any more about it. Oh, you're going to the Furious meet as well in Bram. Oh, that'll be brilliant, Rob. I'll finally get to meet you. Mustard's going, obviously. And, oh, I saw your name on the list, but you were down as a possibly, not a definitely, weren't you? Who else did I see that was going? Oh, Simon said he's going, Project MGTF. So, excellent. There'll be a few of us there. Not sure what I'm going to go in. Might depend on the weather on the day, but it looks nice and easy to get to for me. It's just a quick whiz up the M1 and A1, I think. It's a right old trek for you, Rob, isn't it? Are you doing it all in one day, or are you staying over the night before? It's bloody miles away for you. Bloody hell. I'm complaining about having to drive 50 mile north. You must be driving 250 mile. Oh, that is very nice. You're staying in Leeds. Good God. Well, nobody will be able to call you unsophisticated after that. Sophistication? Don't talk to me about sophistication. I've stayed in Leeds. Blimey. Okay. Oh, well, that'll be fun. A few of us going then. Is there room for another at the Furious meet, says Liz? Who do I ask to get the tickets from? I think you just rock up, Liz. As far as I'm aware, you just turn up. The Motorist, by all accounts, is huge, and Mustard said the last Furious meet he went to, there were fewer people than he expected. But I think it's got, like, boundless capacity. So, yeah, I think you just rock up on the day. That's, as far as I'm aware, that's what I plan to do. Obviously, I'm not going to be convoying with Mustard, because Mustard's too far out of my way. But yeah, we'll be hanging about together at the doings. Oh dear. Beards and Bangers says, I might end up being fisted, let alone sophisticated. Yeah, well, strange things can happen in Leeds, Rob. You keep your hand on your halfpenny, my love. And Liz says, staying in Leeds, that's a bit risky. Yeah, so, oh, well, that's something to look forward to, isn't it? Getting to see some of you, that'll be wonderful. Quite looking forward to that. Although not looking forward to it's a 10 o'clock start, which may, oh, it's not too bad. I suppose I can leave at 9, which for most of you is quite late. But when you work in hospitality, like what I do, 9 is bloody early when you're not getting home until 1 and not getting to bed until 3:30. Did Steph work at the Motorist? Asked Cheeseburger. Yeah, she did. Don't know if she still does, but she certainly did. Leeds got rogered by Liverpool tonight. Oh, that's probably about football, and nobody cares about that. So yeah, now on the subject of meats, of course, we had a little meet on Sunday, and it turned out to be absolutely perfect. It was, yeah, we, now obviously, as I mentioned, Ignition Cars and Coffee is next door, and they had a classics and coffee morning on. So there was no shortage of really exotic and exciting stuff to look at there. And I had a pre-meet coffee there with Steve. You know Steve, Big Steve that you'll have seen the video with me and him and his little Fiat 500. Well, on Sunday he turned up in his big ass TVR. So there'll be a video coming along tomorrow or the next day, I expect. We had some wheel spinning, tail sliding fun in the TVR. I got my ass in the driver's seat of that. First time I've driven anything like that for a long time. So that was a bit of a culture shock. And Liz was there, of course. And if you haven't had the pleasure of seeing Liz's car, my God, what a machine. Now, Liz's car, well, one of Liz's cars, she's got 7. This one, which is kind of the pride of the collection, it's an MG ZT 260, the V8 one with the 4.6 Mustang engine. Except it isn't a 260, it's a 400, because it has a supercharger. Except it's not a 400, because at the last test it was putting out 421 brake horsepower, and it's been tweaked again since that, so it's now putting out an unknown figure, but in excess of 421 brake. Now, as you'll see in the video, I kind of had 2 drives in that, one with Liz driving and one with me driving. Now, when I drove the car, I discovered that despite the insane amount of power going to the rear wheels, that it is a lovely, eminently drivable car that will, it's a fairly typical American V8 in a relatively low state of tune. And it's happy to just grumble along and potter about. You could easily go to the shops and back in it on a daily basis. You might be a little bit worried because, oh, it's a stunning car. She's done so much, and it's in better than new condition, and it's been tweaked and improved pretty much everywhere. You could literally eat your dinner out of the engine bay. But it's just an eminently drivable car, very well behaved, very well mannered, an absolute pleasure to drive. The other half of the driving experience was with Liz in the driving seat. And what I discovered then is that Liz, who looks like a mild-mannered, intellectual lady of letters, is an absolute barking lunatic in the driver's seat. Scared the bloody life out of me, she did. I was expecting a gentle build-up. No, there was none of that. It was just straight into it. And I have to say that the noise of that car at full tilt, you've got this incredible sounding burbling V8. And then above that, you've got the high-pitched whine of the supercharger. And it is just the most addictive noise that you can imagine. You could have, I can see why she's head over heels in love with the car. It's a car that you don't want to get out of. It, oh dear me. Were your feet dry after going in the TVR, says Cheeseburger. My feet were, but my pants weren't. I wet myself several times. Trace says, I saw Liz's car on Rob's POL vid and loved the engine and bonnet underside, also shiny and lovely. Well, on the underside of the bonnet, it's actually mirrored. So in the right light, you get the full reflection of the engine, which just looks better than new. Beards and Bangers, Rob says, it's the car that MG Rover should have built. Would have been a Jaguar spanker. I guess the, which Jag would we be talking about? I suppose the most comparable would be the S-Type R, wouldn't it? Which was, what was the S-Type R? That was a was it 4 litre, 4.2? And that also had a supercharger, didn't it? But yeah, yeah, mirrored, so sexy, says Trace. I don't know, Rob. I mean, they kind of swung the channel, but yeah, I know you could, Liz. I know, and I know Liz has just pinged me to tell me what speed we reached on that road. I know what speed we reached on that road. I was looking at the speedometer at the same time as I was praying to the FSM. And she then says, I ran out of road, I could have gone a lot faster. Yeah, that was what I was worried about, Liz. I edited out of the little clip that I put up, but we hit a certain speed and then backed off. And I thought, thank God for that. And then she put her foot down again. And I said, I panicked and I said, watch out for the potholes on this bit of road. I thought, I've got to slow her down. Oh God, I'm not the best passenger. I think drivers don't make very good passengers. But what the biggest laugh of all, and I think I've got this in the video. Is that after absolutely caning the bejesus out of the car, we then stopped, parked up, and swapped seats. And I got my big bum into the driver's seat. And Liz started saying, oh, cheerio, Simone. Simone needs to hit the sack. And then Liz started to say, now I know I did that in the car, but that doesn't mean that you can. I know the car and you don't, and I love it, and I don't want it to end up in a ditch backwards. So I drove it like Richard Bouquet with Hyacinth in the passenger seat. Which, to be honest, is what I wanted to do anyway, because it makes, if you're going to put a car through its paces, then it makes sense for the person who lives with the car and who knows it to do that, because they know the car's limits, they know, they know the car inside out and backwards, obviously, and if they do pile it up, it's their fault. The last thing you want to do is to fall off the road in somebody else's car. So I'd seen what the car was like in extremis, and I'd heard it, and I'd felt the sensation of the acceleration and everything. So there was no need for me to do that as well. And what I was keen to find out was to find out, because, you know, basically the Rover 75 base, which is what it is, it's what it's based on. This might be the MG version, and it might have huge 19-inch wheels, and it might have a massive V8, and it might be supercharged. But it's still basically the Rover 75 platform, which is a big old comfortable car. And I wanted to see if the 260 version, and then a very heavily modded version of the 260, if it was still a comfortable car, that could still be driven as a kind of comfortable everyday or long distance cruiser type car. And it absolutely can. You've got so much torque in that big old lazy V8 that driving it is just so easy. The clutch, I thought that I thought the clutch might be an issue because the clutch is heavy on a Rover 75. On my ZT190, the clutch is mightily heavy. So I thought, well, the clutch in this is likely to be a real handicap to pleasant driving. And it's actually super light. Super light, ever so easy to use, just, you know, without any issues whatsoever. It's a lot easier to drive than my ZT190 because you've got a much lighter clutch, you've got much more torque, so you don't, you know, with the K series, even with the 2.5, if you change up too early and just at the wrong point in the rev change, in the rev range, then you're not going anywhere because they're they're not a torquey engine, they're a revvy high-end engine. Whereas on this, you've got all the torque in the world. So you can literally change from first directly into fifth and still pull cleanly. So it's a wonderfully, wonderfully easy car to drive. So you've got the best of both worlds. You've got an incredibly comfortable, luxurious, usable car that when you annoy it will rip off its skirts and behave like a TVR. So, I mean, it was just a fabulous thing, and I fell absolutely head over heels in love with it. I really did. Other than that, oh, the S-Type R is a 4.2 V8 supercharged, yeah. That was kind of on my list at one point. I had a couple of S-Types. I had a boring 2.5 V6 auto, but I had an earlier Series 1 3-litre manual, and I had thoughts of getting rid of the two and turning them into one S-Type R, and I can't remember. Oh, I think I bought my Lexus back instead. Yeah, I think I bought the Lexus RX back off little Norm after he'd had it for a year, and I fancied it back. We did a few second to fifth changes. Yeah, we did. The only other thing I noticed on the car that was massively different was the gearbox is different, and it's got a very tight, snicky gate, which is actually much better. But if you're used to a standard 75 or ZT box, it is a much tighter gate, and that means that first to third to fifth is much closer together than you would get in a normal 75 or ZT. But it's not a problem, and it's actually much preferable. But if you're coming out of if you're coming out of a standard ZT, then you'll you know, it just takes an extra fraction of a second of just making sure that you're going into third and not chucking it into fifth, or even worse, going down from fifth and throwing it into first instead of third. The gearbox is an improvement. That car is just pretty much fabulous in every way. And I suppose for anybody who's a fan of the marque, it's got to be pretty much the ultimate, which I suppose it is in Liz's collection. I mean, Liz has got pretty much everything in terms of the 75 and ZT, and that's very much the pinnacle, and you should be very proud of it, Liz, and thank you for sharing it and letting me have a drive. Oh God, really? Oh, I didn't realize it was from a pickup truck. Liz said it was a Tremor, but good. So other than that, talking about the meat, Mustard forgot about it, which meant that Senior Mustard forgot about it. Simon was still testing positive for COVID. shoestring shed Jim had to work at the last minute, and it was never going to be a terribly well attended thing anyway. But it worked out really well because it was very, very different. Matt turned up, which was lovely, but then Matt had to go and he didn't stay for the lunch. So we had the sort of car parking bit, and there were loads of other people around, and there was Ignition next door. And of course we were interested in Liz's car and the TBR and whatnot. So that there was plenty to talk about, but the lunch idea, I think, turned out fabulously because now obviously Steve and I have been friends for, we've been online friends for over 20 years. Liz and I have met a few times, and enough times to know that we get on and we've got a lot of things in common, and I love talking to Liz. But as it turned out, Steve and Liz also got on really well. And it turned out to be lovely because rather than, the bigger meets are great. You get to see a lot of cars and you get to meet a load of people. This was a totally different dynamic. And it was just, as it turned out, just three of us sitting, having a nice lunch in a nice pub. We were there for ages. And we were just chatting as friends and talking about all sorts of things and really bonding, and it was just lovely. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It was a really different thing to do, and I would love to do more of them when it is just a few people and you spend 2 or 3 hours sitting down over lunch talking about anything and everything and really making a proper connection, as it turns out, I wouldn't have changed it, and there'll be more coming up. I've got various ideas, like meeting up somewhere different. There are some fabulous big lay-bys in the Peak District that are always empty. I'm thinking about Longston Edge, particularly, with stunning blue views, or a nice secluded railway station somewhere lovely like Grindleford, and we could meet up and have a banger brunch, cook sausages in the outdoors, and or take a picnic and do some stuff like that. And if it's smaller and lower key and there are only a few of us, that's absolutely fine, because it just makes for a different dynamic. And instead of a rushed talk to loads of people and kind of touch base very briefly with a lot of people, then it's just a different dynamic where you spend a bit more in-depth time with a smaller number of people. And both are good. So hopefully as the year goes on, we'll get a nice mix of these sort of things. Rob's off. Momo's at the restaurant for Saturday lunchtime, says Liz. Well, we don't open at lunchtime, so it's not going to be at the restaurant. I'm happy to bring Momo and do an outdoor cook, or host a Saturday here and cook Momo's. Happy to cook Momo's anytime. I've always got a good stock in. So yeah, throw any ideas like that at me and let's get some things going. People seem to be buggering off to bed. And it's been quite a long day and I'm a little bit tired, so it's not going to be a super long one, I think, tonight. We might wrap it up quite soon because we don't want to exhaust everything, because then we've got nothing to talk about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, have we? So I think I've covered most of the stuff. I hope everybody enjoyed Pride of Longbridge. Looking forward to seeing the videos. Sunday turned out to be great, a little bit different, but as it turned out, in a really good way. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. The next social thing that I'm going to be part of, as I mentioned, is going to be Furious Driving's do at the Motorist, which is a week on Sunday. And I was kind of thinking about every other Sunday for things. So let's set up our next social for. So, right, Matt's do is a week on Sunday. So let's set up our next social do for a fortnight after that. I've got no idea what that date will be. Matt is on the 30th, and let's set our next one up for a fortnight after the 30th, whatever that turns out to be. So throw some ideas at me for what you'd like to do, where you'd like to meet up, all of that sort of thing. And if you fancy coming up to the motorist for Matt's do, then, you know, Matt's going to be there. There's going to be a load of superstars there. You'll have Matt. You've got Mr. Beards and Bangers himself in the wonderful Bram. You'll have Captain Mustard in Nigel. Hubnut turns up to some of Matt's do's, doesn't he? So does Joseph Lloyd. So who knows which of that lot will turn up. And me too, and maybe you as well. That really is very nice. Yeah, it is a shame, Matt. It is a shame a few others didn't make it yesterday, but it turned out to be really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was great to catch up with Steve. It was lovely to see Liz again, and between the three of us, it was a really nice dynamic. We could have, honest to God, it felt like we could have talked for another 3 hours. We had a big old lunch, and then we just sprawled at the table for about an hour and a half after lunch. And then we went out and did a bit of driving, and I think we could have carried on a lot longer had time allowed. I had to get off to the restaurant, so we met up at 12 and called it a day at about 4 o'clock. So yeah, lovely day. And yeah, exciting plans ahead with Brian Johnston, and I think that's about it for today, my loves. So yeah, I'm a bit knackered. It's been Mondays are a long old day, and I'm tired after the weekend, and I'm sure you're all knackered as well, because you've all had big weekends too. So let's call it an early one tonight. Let's wrap it up at that. Let's say our good nights, and let's get together again at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And you might have, I don't know who else is doing tomorrow, but you might also have Simon, and you might also have Mustard, and then me to finish it off. So yeah, hopefully be a good night tomorrow night, and we can catch up on all of the stuff that we missed today. So excellent. Oh, you're welcome, cheeseburger. Yeah, yes. So yeah, good night to everybody, and yeah, let's set up for a big night tomorrow. It could be a triple live stream night tomorrow, which will be fun. If we're quiet at work, I'll try and nip in on the early ones if Simon does one, and I'll be home at about 10:30ish, 11:45ish. So if Mustard's still going, I'll jump in on that, and then I'll jump in to finish things off. And that's it. Let's go. Oh, balls. I'll get this right one of these days, won't I? There we are. Can I put my candles back now? Okay, darlings, it's been lovely catching up with you. Have a safe and peaceful night, and I'll see you at some point on some live stream tomorrow. Take care, darlings. Bye-bye.